Oh, I'm gonna have to show my booty cheek on YouTube. Screw it. Hi friends, and welcome to my makeshift set I have right here. I feel like a talk show host, honestly. Today I wanted to do a video on a tattoo tour. On TikTok I have tried to document my leg sleeve process, but I think it'll be nice to kind of sit down, show each piece, tell you if I had a meeting or not, and then also I wanted to do like a pain scale, because that's the first question I get anytime I get a new tattoo, is always like, how did it feel, did it hurt, like everything like that. So we're gonna go through chronological order of my tattoos, if they have a meaning, and then pain scale for me personally, because please remember, every body is very different. I will say right off the gate, I do have a lot of larger pieces. I do sit well for tattoos. I'm not like a badass. They still don't feel that great. It's a needle going into your body. It still doesn't feel fantastic, but I do sit well and I do have a little bit more of a tolerance than maybe the average bear. So let's get right into it. Technically, my first tattoo I cannot show you because it's a cover-up now. Basically, the guy not only fat shamed me when I was wearing a size 8 pants, so like, sir, but he also gave me no creative freedom of like where I wanted to put my tattoo, and like was like, no, it can't go there, absolutely not, and it can't be any smaller than this. And the only reason I bring that up, because like sometimes, yes, tattoo artists need to put in that input, because there are some places where tattoos don't sit well, they don't age well, and they're, you know, can be messed up. But like I have a tattoo over that entire surface now, so I know that was incorrect. But also he filleted me. So 6 months later, the tattoo already looked like shit. And so I messaged him back and I'm like, hey, like, could I get this retouched up and then also add to it? And like, obviously I was gonna pay, and he left me on red. So glad he did, because then I found a better artist. But then my next tattoo is on my foot. It's a matching tattoo with my sister. I'll try to show you really quick. It's gonna be kind of weird, but I also don't want my feet on the internet too long, because, you know, I know Wiki Feet's real. I know I'm not cool enough to be on Wiki Feet yet, but like, I don't want it on there. It is a quote from a book. My sister has "You keep me wild, I have you keep me safe." The cool part though is that the dots and dashes is actually Morse code for each other's names. So my sister has Lacey, I have Sam. As far as pain scale, this was probably one of my worst tattoos. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. My foot tattoo freaking sucked, okay? It's on the side of my foot where there's like no meat. It was just straight bone. I could feel it shooting up my shin. And I remember that guy was so cool. I wish I remembered the exact name of the tattoo shop. It was in Columbus, but it was like 6 years ago. And he was very cool, very nice person, and he had a heavier hand, which I'm glad, because the tattoo still looks really good, because I'm terrified to get this one touched up. But I remember like he had like a stern grip on my foot, because I could just keep feeling it twitching, and I was like, I'm so sorry. He's like, it's okay, I understand, like I'm hitting a lot of your nerves. He's like, but that's why I have such a tough grip, because I've had people genuinely kick me in the face. And I was like, all right, word. So definitely that tattoo, luckily it didn't take too long, because literally the whole time I was like, that feels great, sir. So that one was my second one, and definitely one of the most painful. If you're getting a foot tattoo, be mentally prepared, because that's been a genuine consensus from a lot of my friends and family. It has been foot tattoos suck. The next tattoo has absolutely no meaning. I got it. Me and my cousin both wanted to get a tattoo, so we got one. There's no meaning, and honestly, it just is a little thing on my ankle, so let me show you. There she is. Look how cute. Wow, so stylish. Look at her. Like I said, this tattoo has absolutely no meaning. We just wanted to go in and get a tattoo. This tattoo really didn't hurt, honestly. On my ankle, it kind of just felt like somebody was writing really hard, because like a lot of the tattoos that are tolerable for me personally, they just feel like somebody is like taking an ink pen and just drawing too hard on you. So didn't really hurt, didn't really take really long though either. So moving on to my next tattoo. It is a memorial tattoo. It's very tiny, but I'll explain why. I wanted something very dainty and delicate, because every artist I had gone to was like, oh no, I have to do it this big and blah blah blah. So I found finally my lovely artist who's done almost all my other ink. I love her. Her name is Erica. She is from Native Ink in Hillsboro, Ohio. Please look her up. She is phenomenal. She is an amazing artist. But she did this little teeny tiny angel wing that is on my wrist. Just this teeny tiny angel wing that is on my wrist, and I'll explain why. Technically, this could be considered another matching tattoo, because me and my cousin both got them, but hers is very different, and I'll explain why. Basically, our grandmother was very important to us, and my grandmother passed away, and when she did, we wanted to get a tattoo for her. She had these pictures. I do not know why. My mother and my cousins, like my aunt, decided that we were gonna be like models. The career did not take off, but they would do these like little like professional photo shoots where they would take us to this lady who did photos, and that she had little sets and stuff. And one of the sets was us being little angels. I do not know why that was a common theme with our family. Like I said, I did it, and then 3 years later my cousin did it, because that's our age gap, and we both got them done when we were about like 4. And it's just, I don't know, it was just very funny. And so my grandma had these two pictures hanging in her bedroom. And when we got to that age where we were like, oh my gosh, these are so embarrassing, like why do you still have these hanging? She'd always be like, oh, because you guys are my little angels. Like I love looking at it because you guys are my little angels. And like as we got older, we realized how cute and sweet that was. And so when she passed, we were like, we should get an angel wing because now grandma is our angel. My next tattoo is finally the cover up. So like I said, the tattoo prior on my ribs was done incorrectly. It was very poorly done. He went too deep and filleted my skin, so it just didn't look right. And so luckily Erica was like, girl, I got you. So I wanted to do a sunflower because that is my grandma's favorite flower. And whenever I see sunflowers, it makes me think of her. And I also think they're a very beautiful flower. And I knew I needed some extra to be able to fully cover up the tattoo. So I went with roses because it's my two aunts who I'm very close to favorite flower as well. So that's why I got what I got. So without further ado, let me just show you my rib piece, all right? That is my rib piece. Kind of goes all the way up to my armpit almost, so I have to kind of like show you, but it is just a very pretty floral design. As far as pain, I will tell you again, my ribs wasn't too bad for me, honestly. I was able to get this done in half the time Erica thought it was gonna take us. For me, the closer it got to the sides of my stomach and then closer to my armpit were a little painful, and then when she went over the scar tissue from my previous tattoo, that didn't feel good because as you could tell, there was a lot of concentrated ink in the sunflower because that's where she had to cover my tattoo. So those parts were not fun, but the rest of it honestly really wasn't too terrible. Like I was vibing through most of the tattoo. But I know a lot of people say ribs is one of the worst places, so please take that into consideration. But for me, it wasn't too terrible. Okay, so next we have my little more scandalous tattoos. Again, shocker, it's a matching tattoo. When butt tattoos, ass tats, whatever you want to call them, got really popular, I just think that they're adorable, okay? I really do. I think there's nothing cuter than the little side cheek moment when you have like underwear or a bathing suit bottom on. I just think they're cute as shit, okay? I think it's a fun little kind of rebellious thing, and I really wanted one, and so did my best friend Julie. But we were kind of thinking of what we could do, and luckily a very funny inside joke between us is this thing we say, sun's out. And I will try to briefly explain because it's kind of stupid, but like, just hear me out. So basically we have to go back about 3 years. Me, one of my friends Bustin, and my cousin Kaylee went to this concert in downtown Columbus. And while we were walking around trying to figure out where we were and everything, it was still daylight out, and I ate shit. The concrete of the like sidewalk was uneven and I just ate shit, okay, in broad daylight, all right? And so when my friend Bustin was telling Julie about this later, for some reason we thought it was so funny because Julie was trying to give me the benefit of the doubt as he's explaining. She's like, okay, but like, was it dark, you know, like, was it like right before you guys went to the concert? And Bustin goes, no, sun's out. And I don't know why, but the way he said it made us laugh so hard. So then flash forward a little bit, we were going to Hopefield, which is a local little coffee shop that we have here in my town, and I was in the drive-thru and the lady handed me an incorrect drink. And I'm a very socially awkward person when it comes to having to like correct somebody on something like that. So immediately I'm like, I am now drinking this. Like, I don't care. This is now my drink because I'm not going to say anything. So I'm like getting ready to put it in my cup holder, but she's like, oh wait, that's wrong. And so then I'm like, oh, thank God she saved me. So I like go back to hand it to her and I black out straight up. Like from social anxiety, I just black out. I do not remember what I say. I think that I just like mumble something. She hands us the correct drinks and I go on my merry way. But then as soon as I go to pull away, Julie's like, hey, Lacey, you can't say our inside jokes to other people. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you just told that girl sun's out when you freaking got the wrong drink. And I said, shut the hell up. I did not. She's like, literally, it was like you couldn't help yourself. It's like she took the wrong drink and you went, sun's out. And I was like, no, I didn't. So then Julie's like, you know what? That's going on our ass cheek. So we did. I have sun's out with a little sun. She has sun's out with a little pair of sunglasses. They're super cute. I'm going to show you my ass cheek because it's just the sides, so like I don't think it should be a problem. And then while I was there, I also got an underboob tattoo because my mom decided to like pretend through a fit of not having a flower dedicated to her. So I got a hydrangea under my boob because that's my mom's favorite flower. So let me show you my booty cheek and my underboobie real quick. We're going to get really close here, okay? There is the sun's out on my booty cheek. I think it's hilarious. There is the little hydrangea under my boob next to the flowers for my mom. It's a single needle tattoo. So as far as those two go pain-wise, the butt cheek didn't really hurt at all. Julie said hers tickled, but I honestly think it's just because that's a very meaty area. I don't think you have a lot of nerve endings in your butt cheek, so it's a pretty safe place to get a tattoo if you want me to be honest. Under my boobie though, different story, okay? It was a single needle tattoo and it did not feel great, okay? It was quite painful tattoo. I also don't like line work and there's literally no shading, so that might be a factor, but yeah, it wasn't super fun. Luckily it was a quick tattoo and I love it, it's very cute, but like, it was quite painful, so just a warning. Under booby tattoos, that's a very sensitive area. Next up, we start going into my leg sleeve, because if you do not know, I have the entirety of the front of my leg now completed. I just have to do a little bit more shading and a few other things, but other than that, we're now working on the back of my leg. So the first piece I wanted to get doesn't really have any meaning. Basically, I just knew that I wanted a leg sleeve. I wanted to start at the top of my thigh just so that we could really have a nice big piece to go off of. And I'm a very big nature fan. I love landscape photography. I love nature photography. I just very much love exploring, hiking, kayaking, and just seeing nature. I'm very aesthetically attracted to the outdoors. And so my tattoo, I kind of jokingly call it my Bob Ross tattoo because it honestly looks like a Bob Ross painting, but it's basically just a very cute mountain lake scene on my thigh. And it was the start of my piece. I love it. I sent like 3 inspo pics to my artist Erica and she nailed it. She crushed it. This was the longest piece I think I've sat for. I think it was almost 10 hours that I was in there. But it's great. It's fully healed too, so let's show. Like I said, the first piece is just like a mountain theme. I think it's really dope. I am obsessed with this. It was such a pretty piece to start the tattoo and it was so easy to build on. As far as pain, that one wasn't too bad. It was just the closer she got to my inner thigh and my coochie, straight up. Like the clouds that she was shading near my like underwear line, whoo buddy. And then when she got closer to my inner thigh, I was like, that doesn't feel good. So, but I think that's to be expected because your inner thigh and then around your private area is a very sensitive place. So like, not shocked that that was the worst part, but the rest of it, honestly, because she started from the outside and worked her way in, was pretty chill. There's also just a point with like longer tattoo sessions, like bigger pieces, and I'm sure a lot of people can attest that when you're sitting that long, there's a point that your body's just like, yeah, we're done. We're good. So, my body had definitely hit that once she got to the inner thigh, and I was like, you could be done anytime and I'd be okay with it. Next piece I have is one of my cows. It's probably one of the only cow themed tattoos I'll get, which I think shocks a lot of people, but the thing is, snow is like very important to me. I love all my cows, I really do. Love all my pets, but Snow just had such a special connection with me from the moment she was born, and it kind of relates to my grandma. I'll go in detail on that in another video coming soon where I'll kind of explain some backstory, some of my favorite stories of some of my cattle on the farm. But like I said, Snow just has an extremely special place in my heart because of just her energy. I just feel like she's my soul cow. So I knew when I was getting a leg sleeve, I wanted Snow on it. And Erica understood the mother-loving assignment, okay? I have Snow on the side of my thigh with a lovely little flower crown and super freaking cute, so let me show you. Snow is on the very side of my thigh, and she just has her beautiful little flower crown, and I just love this tattoo. I think it is so stinking cute and detailed. It genuinely makes her look fuzzy, and I do not know how Erica did that. Pain-wise, it was one of my easiest tattoos to get. The only thing that sucked was the way I had to sit for this tattoo because I was in like a super weird position. So honestly, that's the part that sucked the most. As far as the actual tattoo itself, it was one of my easiest tattoos, hands down. My next tattoo was my Shin piece, which is one that I kind of just saw and was like, wow, that's really dope. I would love to have that on my body, and I did. It doesn't really have a meaning. I just really like the Western vibe. And then my tattoo artist Erica was able to do one of her favorite things, which is stippling dot work. And it just looks so freaking neat. So let's just show you the tattoo. That right there is my Shin tattoo. It's a nice little skull with some different stippling dots around this star guy. And then it's got some little leafy guys that hang out as well. As far as my Shin with paint, it actually wasn't too terrible, but I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it was dot work. That stippling action of just almost like a stick and poke made it a lot more easy because it wasn't really lines. But it does make me nervous for my calf tattoo that's next, because the closer it got to more meaty areas, the more painful it was. So that makes me a little concerned, but it really wasn't too terrible. The next one I got was just a little silly goofy one. I got a little cowboy hat with one of my friends, Gretchen, because we were in Nashville, and what better thing to do in Nashville than get a tiny little tattoo with one of your best friends. So we did. The backstory isn't really that crazy. Basically, it's kind of funny now because there could be two meetings. So first of all, it's the fact that we went to Target like 3 weeks before our trip, and we didn't even think about it, but we had both bought these like cute little hats. A lot of people wear them in Nashville. I think you should be able to wear them. I've honestly become a big fan of them. And we went to Starbucks after Target because there's one inside. And when we were checking out, the guy was like, he saw our 2 hats and was like, what, you guys going to Nashville or something? And we're like, we actually are. So then jokingly we were like, we should get tattoos of little cowboy hats while we're in Nashville. So we actually did. And then the reason it could be another connection, because if you guys didn't know from TikTok, I got my hat stolen in Nashville. Guy just ran up and took my hat right off my head on Broadway, and I was super upset. So now I have my cowboy hat with me forever in remembrance. My little cowboy tattoo. You also get a nice little shot of my foot tattoo again as well. Pain for that one is really hard to gauge because I kind of did the same with my little itty bitty one. With little tattoos, again, it's really not too painful because they're so quick, but it was again kind of like somebody was just drawing on me with a pen too hard. Wasn't too bad at all. But then again, it was also really quick. The last tattoo that I have gotten, my most recent, is what has finished the front of my leg sleeve. I got my kneecap and then a little bit of my thigh as well. Basically what we did is my whole shin piece that she came up with, she did another stippling dot work flower up on my kneecap, and then she just put some really cute little flowers. We still have to shade them, which I believe she's going to do at my next appointment that we start on my calf, but that is the next piece we are going to be showing. So let me show you my kneecap. Ladies, gents, and everyone in between, here is my kneecap that looks like a little stippling star. And then, like I said, she just did some flowers to connect these 2 pieces. She's gonna shade them. There's probably gonna be a lot of floral that connects a lot of my pieces because I don't care if it's basic. I just genuinely like the way that floral tattoos look. But there's my knee. I'll be honest with you, the knee is what I was dreading the most, okay? Because it just seems like a painful spot. And I knew there was gonna be a lot of dots. But honestly, again, the stippling was really nice. My actual kneecap wasn't that bad. Honestly, it wasn't too bad. The reflexes I had were insane. Like every time she would dry wipe to get some of the ink out of the way, my knee would just have a rave. Like my knee would be like, and I'd be like, I'm so sorry. She's like, dude, there's so many reflexes, your literal reflexes in here. You're gonna be moving and that's okay. But again, the closer it got to the meaty sides, that was not fun. My kneecap is still healing. It hasn't even peeled yet. I literally just took the bandage off yesterday, so I will definitely post better full pictures of my leg sleeve once we add more pieces. And I am still vlogging each piece on TikTok, so if you would like to keep up with that, you can follow me both on Instagram and TikTok. But that's all my tattoos that I have so far. It's 12 in total if you count my cover-up. That's all the tattoos that I have. I hope that that helps a lot of people who are always curious about my tattoos and if they have any meanings. And then the pain tolerance scale, because a lot of people always want to know where tattoos hurt. But like I said, the biggest thing to remember is every person is different with their pain tolerance and what's going to hurt them and what they are going to be able to tolerate. So always remember that. That's all I have for you today. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing my tattoos and hearing about my pain tolerance and if any of them have cute stories. But I'm going to get off here, so I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your week and holiday season with whatever you celebrate. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. You can check out my other socials down below and my merchandise. But other than that, peace out, Girl Scouts, okay? I'll see you later.